covered the Python and all the methods which we are going to use, which will be helpful for us in this course. And now we will start with the core of data engineering, which is called as a data lake, which nowadays everybody is like like working on in when it comes to big data. Let me share you my screen. So data lake is guys nothing but a base of all this data engineering and analytics because it helps to store the all the data which we are going to process in our work as a ETL developer. Here, what actually we do is consider these are all the data sources. Well, files. So consider these are all the different in terms of let me discuss it with an example. For example, we are like in our organization we have hired for a analytics project where we just have to do the data ETL work as well as the analytics for the business intelligence and reporting purpose. So for that, what exactly they are asking us to generate a marketing first do an analytics on the marketing projects which we have spent money for in organization. So for example, there are different products of marketing for which marketings and the campaigns are being going on in organization. So they just want to extract, see what how they are currently performing in those products and specifically in marketing, whatever we are investing and how much revenues we are getting from it. So consider like how we can approach for this solution is first we will have to build up a data lake. Data lake is nothing but so consider this is a data lake where we have to do all this data extraction, ingestion, and store and processing, all of it. Okay, so first steps ETL stages. First stage is ingest, ingestion layer. Raw data means as it is data. Then next to silver layer, ingestion layer. This is a silver layer, and third is gold layer. Okay. So first we to like we just have to start with gathering the data from all the different sources and make it available at one place. Okay. What is the data? And the data lake is nothing but centralized place where we store all the raw and massive amount of data, whatever is required for our use case. Okay. You see. Data lake is nothing but a centralized storage repository that holds a massive amount of raw data and in what format we are going to store that we will discuss it later and consider like this is a first layer how it looks like. So This is nothing but guys, ingestion of data from all different sources and store them at one place. Consider, let's say this storage is nothing but S3 or Azure Blob. Okay, S3, or you can also use HDFS. There are varieties of, but in these days, these are the most popular data sources where we store all our data, the raw data especially before we process. So, okay, now you see here the data ingestion, it is the primary stage where we just have to extract the data as it is present in the data source. Okay, for example, product. This is for product A. Here data we are extracting for product C and product C. Okay, so A, B, C, these are all the different we like products which we have like in organization. There are different teams that are working on certain projects or certain processes, but at the end they are all extracting a data and storing it somewhere else for their use, for their personal use. So product A, so in this here this data sources is holding a data for the marketing data. Let's write it as a. So, so means how much money we have spent on marketing for project A, how much money we have spent, and whatever transitions we have done for marketing product B and C. So to analyze this all together, we have to store them at one place first, so that it will be easier for us to connect the data with each other and like we can see it at one place. For example, if I want to query data for this product A, I just instead going to this source and see as see like I want to see the data for how much we have spent on marketing for product A in year 2010, in year 2010 to 24, like somehow. But the traditionally it was very tedious for us to go reach out to this different teams and extracting the data for us, and like nobody will allow you to reach their production databases and such, so other things are there. But now in organization what they come up with, let's create a centralized place where we can store all the data at one place first. So these linings are nothing but you can say ingestion layer, ingestion raw data, or you can refer it as raw layer. Okay, raw layer means however the data is present here, let's extract it into one place and in a different file format, like because these are all tabular data, columnary data which they have stored. So we to analyze it, we need at least data to be present and easily accessible for us like within team. So we have come up with a solution like we create a data lake where we just started with storing the raw data, and based on that let's aggregate, because not all the data is structured and like in a proper way. So we have to structure that data in a way so that we can perform analytics. So let's see here data sources, and we know there are different file formats. So okay, let's discuss it later. This is nothing but a Medallion architecture, whatever I'm presenting here. Guys, yeah, this topic is important because they will ask you how your workflow looks like, how your architecture looks like, whatever. If in interview they'll ask you what you have done and how was your architecture actually is. So you just have to tell them we are having a three-tier architecture, which is called as a medallion architecture. You can also say three-tier architecture. Three-tier, three-tier architecture. This is the most common architecture, guys, in every organization. You can see they have a raw layer, then they have a silver layer, and then they'll have a golden layer. Okay. So firstly, the data is coming from the sources in a raw format. Raw means as it is data, whatever it is. And then this is our first stage. What we call it, the raw layer, whatever I'm referring to, the raw layer is, guys, is nothing but a bronze layer. Okay. Sorry, miss. Data. Yes. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So, guys, do you have any questions till here? Anything, any doubts? Because this is the most important like architecture of our workflow that from because our project starts with this. Then we'll come up with the development part of ingestion pipelines, and then we work on transformation layers and all. So that's why this is important to understand the workflow and architecture because they will ask, definitely they will ask how is your workflow looks like. So you should say in my project, we have a three-layer architecture or medallion architecture where we have three different layers where we have stored the data. First is our raw layer, then we have a bronze layer, then we have a golden layer. Or in organization, you can also refer it as raw, QA, and production, like in such a way. But this is in standard terms we are using in data engineering these days. So you see here. This is nothing but a bronze layer. First, we have store the raw data in a bronze layer, like data is exactly as it is received. Next is our silver layer. Silver layer, what we do in silver layer, guys, whatever the raw data we have extracted in layer one, in bronze layer, we have to clean that data and standardize it. In a like what we do is data quality, we apply some rules and constraints on the data quality, like handling the missing values. So we sometimes they'll ask, we don't need a missing value. So instead of missing values, we should handle them like creating a null, replacing with null, or replacing with zero. Whatever the missing values in our data, we will replace it with something or like standardized format, whatever they'll ask for, like how we need to structure it. Because in this layer, now you see, you remember I have told you about how we can identify all this information in one table. So here we see we have extracted data from AB for ABC products and store it in this is nothing but a storage layer, guys. Okay. Raw layer means storage layer. Whatever I'm showing you is a storage only. I write it here. HDFS, S3, Azure blog, and so on. Okay. So now we have successfully extracted, ingested data from different sources into our raw layer or bronze layer. Now, next, we have to handle the, mm, wait, this is our silver layer. Now you see in documentation they have mentioned silver layer is nothing but a clean and standardized version of data, of raw data, like by applying some missing values, like the regulations. Like this is nothing but first we have done the ingestion layer. Ingestion pipelines are here. These pipelines are nothing but ingestion pipelines, guys, which is helping us to extract data and store it in raw layer. Then then we come up with the ETL part, like because here what we are doing, guys, the raw data, we are applying some transformations on it and we are making it more structured and in a standard format so that it is more easy to access the data. Now we see here all these are stored in a different tables. So how I can say is, let's refer that table. So what we have done here, guys, consider the data extracted from the source. I have stored it as a CSV format. Okay. So all these are stored in a CSV format. Now we have file with us. Okay. We have stored the data in file format. Consider the file format is CSV format. Now we have to structure that data. So how we can do that? We'll have to first we have written here ingestion layer. This is nothing but our ingestion. Ingestion pipelines, guys, it do nothing. It is just copy data from one place to another place. So here one place is our data source and another place is our data lake. First layer, primary bronze layer. Then now to let's this is actually a separated files, right? Now what we do, we will read the data and store it in a singular file. So how it will ease our work is, guys, we don't have to go into one and each and every files to see the data for what is the data for product A, product B, and product C. What we have done here, we have concatenated these three files and we have stored it in a one file, and on base of this file we will create a table. The table is nothing but an aggregated table. As mentioned here, look, data from multiple sources is often joined here. You got this point, guys? Here what we have done, whatever the missing values in this file ABC, in these files, we have replaced this missing data with 0. And then we have stored these all three files in a one CSV file. Consider it as a one table. Now we have joined all these three and stored them in a one single table. This is here because this arrow means nothing but our ETL job pipeline. What that pipeline do, that pipeline we will write our code to transform the data and whatever the join operations which we have discussed here, that we need to join these two files and store it in a one place, that we will do here. So for that purpose, we have to design we have to develop an ETL pipeline which will read these files, join them, apply transformations, and then store it as a in a silver layer. Means more enhanced layer of the data, enhanced version of the data. Okay, guys, you getting it? Any doubt here? Please try to keep this session interactive, guys, so that it will be easier for me as well to understand whether I am able to deliver the stuff which I have. Okay, guys, please don't miss any of the thing like here, because they may go in deeper also in interview, like why you have used these three layers. So you should understand the purpose of this three layer as well. Like why raw layer? Why can't we use straight raw data and like transform it in directly into golden layer? Why can't we do analytics on directly on a raw data? This kind of questions they may ask. So this part is clear, guys. Here, what we have done so far in bronze and golden layer, sorry, silver layer. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So now as we know, we have joined those tables, and now let's go for the next layer, which is a golden layer. So golden layer, what we do, guys, we stored a high quality data, which is totally refined data and aggregated data, which is spatially transformed for a business reporting and BI use cases. Okay. The data here is we can call it as production date table or final table. You remember you guys have learned the dimensions facts. So those are the terms, because basis on the primary keys, you will join two different tables like based on any unique primary keys. Primary keys means you can say here can understand like this product you have some IDs. Here also there are some common products which have a common ID. So based on that you will identify which are the products exist in which are the like policies present in product A which are not present in product C, just to join those tables and understand like how they can interact to each other based on the primary key they have. Now we can go for the next layer, which is nothing but a golden layer. The data box. Because our stakeholders are all whatever the products owner we are creating these projects for, they will look for this project, this tables only, because these are all our internal tables which we do for analytics, because raw data we receive an analytics request that they need to identify these many reports. They'll come up with something. They'll They want to do analytics on our revenues. They want to understand how many campaigns we have done so far for product A, for product B and C. So these kind of all informations which we can provide them through raw layer, because as we know, we have all the raw data of all three products. Okay. So, and this layer starts with a different means different requirements. So golden layer, we will create a table, for example, revenue table. What revenue data will hold? It will just hold the information of how much money we have spent. Next, we can create another table which we will which we will represent the number of campaigns. So for that, we don't need the same data. We just need information related to campaigns. So we will go to the raw file, raw data. We will identify and we will extract only those columns instead all unnecessary columns, because the data comes with around, sorry, someone is there. Yeah, it was a delivery boy. Okay. So guys, we have machine learning models as well. So machine learning models they have their requirements, so that needs some information to pass through models and get the outputs. So for them, we have to create different tables based on their requirements, and then we have to keep communicating with them to understand what are the fields and attributes. Attributes is nothing but columns they are actually expecting for this reports. Those kind of discussions we used to have in day-to-day work, and we mostly work closely with data analysts and scientists because we have to deliver their requirements. Okay. So so far here, everything okay, good guys. Any question, any doubt here? Because this is our primary architecture. Like in any projects or in any company we go, we'll have to go through with this phase only. Our workflow architecture would be similar, like three stage.
Aditya, I have a question regarding this revenue campaign, like in the gold layer, right?
Mhm.
So you said that we'll be going back to the bronze layer for extracting some of the columns. Is it?
Yes, yes. Because golden layer, we are creating this golden layer for our analytics or data scientists only. Okay. Because
Uh-huh.
we cannot limit the data here, instead limiting data here. Because if, for example, today we have received a requirement to understand how much revenue we have generated for product A, B, C. Let's
Mm-hmm.
consider today they come up with a requirement. We just have to understand how much revenue we have generated last 10 years, in last 5 years for marketing of product A. So what we will do, we will create an ingestion pipeline first for that to extract data for 10 years. So we will extract and ingest that 10-year data into our raw layer. So that 10-year data means that data has everything, like whatever the field's name, customer name, what camping, what method of marketing we have used to sell this policy or product. But for revenue, we don't need those like customer name. We just need a customer ID. We just need like amounts, like sales, how much sales we have generated, how many leads we have generated through that marketing campaigns. So this is for
Hmm.
for a product A. Now next day or like next month they'll come up with product B and product C. Now they know we have this information of all the products. So they have come up with a new requirement. They also want to identify how many campaigns we have done for the product A, product B. Now, but we don't need to go back to them, these sources, because we have extracted data as it is. Now we are free from them. What we will do on this layer, on the raw layer, we will let's create a separate table which has filtered data out of this raw data, filtered and more clean formatted data, which only stores the information of camping. So what we will do, we will extract only those columns which is relevant to campings. How many campings, which campings, in which state, and how many times we have done that camping in a year. And if we need only for 5 years, so we will extract the data for only just 5 years. Because this raw file has a 10-year data, historical data, 10 years. So we don't need the all 10 years data. We'll have to extract only 5 years data. So let's extract and create a new table in a silver layer. And then we will work on this new silver layer table to transform it according to business reports, what they are expecting to generate.
Okay, so
And
that
here
means
in this
now.
portion, analyst
Uh,
will work with us to understand and we will have a review with them. We will do a data quality validations as well. So this portion we will work together with data analysis. Till
so
here,
that means.
we sorry, go ahead.
So that means supposedly if we need selective information from the pool of data, we will be going back to the raw layer, is it?
Correct, correct. Now you got it.
Fine.
From the pool, we are just extracting a bucket of water because we need only one bucket of water.
But silver layer has more structured data, right? So why? So okay, supposedly from the pool of data, we're just circling back to raw layer, getting the
Hmm.
data and again making a new table or a column or a file in silver layer for
Silver
that
layer is
particular.
must okay. The raw layer, the problem with why we have created a silver layer is raw data is always disturbed and scattered data.
Hmm.
Sometimes, the naming conventions are like
Naming
there are
conventions, missing values, duplicates,
missing
supposedly.
values or null values are there, which is unnecessary. And in unnecessary null values, they have defined certain special characters which are not required for any processing. So we can replace that. We will make partial structure in silver, and then on that partial structured formatted table, we will apply our business transformations. Aggregation, for example, they want a table sum of year, like they just want instead day by day, they don't want to see day by day things. They just want to extract annual revenues for each year. So they want to see 5 years how much revenue we have generated. So we have to apply group by to sum the like how we can say revenues amount in entire year. What we will do, sum of group by in year 2024, which will sum up all the amount we have spent in a year. Like for example, in August month we have spent 1K, January, February, March, April, May. Like
Hmm.
so this way we will just sum up all the amount. Jan we had revenue of this, Feb, Jan 24, Feb 25. And you can see here, there is a trend which is going up and up every month by 1K, 2K, correct? So they also see the pattern. For that purpose also they want us to let's distribute the data in month way, like in monthly basis, which will be easier for them to analyze the patterns, how every month we are performing. Then they next after months they'll come up with let's generate a report for annual reports in last 5 years. So annual reports, which what it holds is total of in year 2024, 2022, we have generated 12K. In 2023, we have generated 18K. In 2024, we have generated, for example, 24K. So this is nothing but a sum of every month values. Correct. Means in
Mm,
January in year 2022, for example, every month we have generated 1K. Just
mm,
for an example, it might be 0.5K or something, but just to this is nothing but an aggregated table. This exact information we cannot find it in raw until unless we do an aggregations and transformations on it. Correct? We'll have to
mm,
apply some sum of revenue group by year. So means we have to we will identify only for that particular year, not for month, not for something. But the raw data information is day by day basis. Every day information it is holding. Okay. Today, yesterday, how much we have generated, day after yesterday. So that way, raw data is like that.
mm. Okay. So, okay. Okay. That's the reason we are using the single layer afterwards. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
We can
Okay.
also
Thank you.
say like this is also a requirement for a report. This is also a report, right? It is nothing but a report.
Hmm.
That's how the reports will deliver the output, deliver like what the data is holding. Dashboard, the dashboards they'll create. Dashboard is nothing but a representation of what we create here because they can't go and see the numbers like one by one, select all. They don't
Hmm.
have time to query those. So they just need charts or visualization so that it is easier for them to understand what is going on.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Aditya.
Yeah. Any other question, guys? If you want me to repeat, I can repeat the same again because this is important for you to understand how this workflow will flow. You see how ETL workflow looks like. First is raw data ingestion layer. Means ingestion job. Ingestion job is nothing but copying data from one place to another place as it is. Next is cleaning and transforming the data means the same what I told you, like missing values or something. And this is nothing but a final layer reporting jobs, which is final job which read the data from silver table, apply the aggregations data into business metrics. And one more thing is there, guys. This what are the types of data loads we do? Like there are three types of data loads. Majorly we do incremental. Incremental data means, guys, for example, mm, consider product A, refer this product as a Parle-G biscuit. Parle-G biscuit, how much we have sold in last week? Because you see, this product is FMCG product means fast moving goods. So we are selling it every day. Okay. So company wants to know how much company just storing the data for everyday basis. In mall we go and they do scan of the product while selling and generating bill. Just they do scan and it will reflect like what is the product ID, how much it costs. So that way. they are storing the data every day for each and every single product. So incremental data means, for example, till today, I have an information. I have extracted this product information till yesterday. Okay. Till yesterday, I have stored. And for example, till yesterday, I can see the product has been sold around 1000K. And today also they are selling the same product. So till tonight, well, they have sold all the products and all this information has been stored in their database. So the difference here is that information this file having is till yesterday. Okay. But there is a refresh happened here. Refresh has been happened because today also they have sold the product. New products are also like new numbers has generated. For example, today they have sold 12 products. Okay. But I have only that now the count is till today total sale is units. But here the information we have extracted yesterday is only of the product we have sold, the units we have sold till yesterday means that is 1000 consider. This information is still till yesterday. But now the data has been refreshed with the new records. Those new records is nothing but the incremental data. Because now you see how the incremental data is the 12 new records are nothing but incremental records on existing data. So we call this pipeline which will go every day and fetch only new data. Fetch the new data like especially this incremental data comes with a file. Whatever the product or data source we are working here with, they will create a file for everyday basis. So we have to extract information on every day. The ingestion pipeline would extract the data and refresh the table here, data here every day, so that they will have information till yesterday every time. So now I have just, for example, here nothing but this line is our incremental job, which will go to the source here and extract the information, whatever the new records are present here. Here, this 12 records are new records. It will ingest here. So this is nothing but a incremental data. And sometimes the next, is it clear, guys? Incremental data load, whatever the new records are getting generated every day or every week. Schedule depends on requirements, how we need and the latest version of data. That is different, but incremental part, you guys understand na? What actually incrementals are new records. It's sold. For example, in data lake, our data looks like this because it is capturing everyday data. Okay. How much sold units we are selling every day. Consider. Now, if for example, tomorrow you want to see how much products we have stored yesterday. Yesterday means 2nd of November, means today. How we will see this information we will get by end of the day. Okay. Because for example, our shops are open from morning 9 to evening 9. Okay. For example, let's say we have sold 52 products today, but this information is not available with us. It is only available at source of, means this information is only present here. It is not our data lake, but we need that information as well. So we will write an incremental data pipeline, which is also called as batch pipeline, batch jobs. What it will do, it will extract the new records from the data. Means, for example, we have extracted the information till yesterday, means 01/0/01/11/2025. Now today also we will trigger the job, but today we will extract data for record generated on this date. So whatever the records our data has been generated on this day, today means 02/11, we will store it here. But when it will be stored? Tomorrow. So every day we are refreshing data here. It means we'll have to refresh our present data lake as well. That is nothing but a incremental jobs based on date. We are refreshing data in every day. Hope it is clear, guys, to you. Any doubt? These these are very core concepts which you need to remember, guys, because they will ask you what kind of data loads are there, why we do override, why we do incremental data load, what are CDCs. Next is full override, guys. Full override or full load. For to explain you this, consider uh, account balance date, account ID. Just consider your bank account here, your bank balance and date. For example, on 30/30, 5-year balance is around 100,000, whatever. Account ID 1123 on date. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a different ID. It has a balance. Okay. So for example, these are the two bank accounts, which is one is 1123 and second is 1234. That's name there as well. Application. So till this date, their current balance is 100. Alan's current balance is 100 and John's current balance is 1564. Tomorrow, their salary has got credited. So 1123. Alan has received $100 salary. So the current balance is now 200. John has received, and then his present balance has got this, but within same day he bought a new phone for which he has done a transition and spent around like 700K, 700. So how much left? 1500 current balance within same day. So now on this date, the data, their records are this for that particular ID, for that particular account, the balance has been this, and next day the balance has got credited as well as debited at the same date. So how we will do the incremental data, guys, here? Incremental data, what we are doing here is we will just overwriting this complete data. Means we will just delete these records and we will update these information at present. So we will just clean this and update it with this, because what we need to focus on as a bank. For example, we are in a bank. What is the current balance at every single day? Means at present, whatever the time we used to go and check our current balance after every transaction the same way. So to update those value, we have to simply update this whole data here. So this is nothing but a primary state. Full load means total truncate and load. मतलब delete all previous data and update it according to current balance and current date. This is nothing but a overwrite.
Aditya, can you repeat? Because I think I lost you for 20, 30 seconds. My mic was not working.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
overwrite
I
was
thought you were speaking. This is the reason I turned on and saw that there was some problem with my system. Therefore. Hello?
hello, hello. I'm audible, guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so guys, overwrite means we will just refresh. This overwrite mostly we will use in financial sectors, like what wherever we need a latest latest update of that particular ID or particular customers, to understand the customer spending behavior, this kind of information we need to extract sometimes for analytics use cases to understand customer spending pattern and behaviors, which we will which like machine learning models which helps to identify those. Next is change data capture. Change data capture is also similar to this. Change data means we are just extracting the data. Just extracting information at present current particular entity of that particular customer. The three types of my Wi-Fi is going to power supply connected to well consumption pipeline we have with sector real Kafka helps us for or any OT for what we are using live we so real time streaming by GPay transactions are time streaming data means data will get update at same time we have done a transaction. Like in WhatsApp, we see WhatsApp also on this team meeting also what we are doing is this is all live data which we will process through Kafka in a real time in organizations. So okay, they may ask what kind of data processing you have done. So in that time you should be able to answer like uh, batch. So these are the two types of data processing we have in data engineering, guys. Batch data means data at rest. The architecture which I have showed you here, these are all batch pipelines. Means because we are extracting data which is at rest already, which is stored data we are processing. But real-time data, example, transaction history, bank transaction history. Okay. This data this is most common file format CSV, JSON, Avro, ML, text, and so on. But here, if they ask you what are how many data formats you have worked on, you can simply say, I have processed the files, CSV files. I have done the ETL pipelines to process CSV files from our file storage, it means data lake to silver layer, applying transformations on it. Then there are also data sources like uh, NoSQL databases, MongoDB, DynamoDB, which will generate JSON records. So those data looks like in different format. Let me show you examples how it looks. You see, the JSON data looks like this. This is considered in such a way. You remember we have learned, guys, dictionary in Python. Yeah, this one. So this way, the JSON data is like we can see in braces. Means it is. Let me see. JSON file. You see, this is how the JSON data looks like, guys. Something similar. It starts with this and ends with this. Ignore this part. This is how the data JSON data looks like. And CSV data is nothing but a columnar data. This is CSV file looks like name, age, job. See, these are columns, and just below that, their values are stored. But when we read this file, we will read it in a columnar format, means as so far, Parquet format is a columnary format which is specially designed by faster. Mm, this complex format is, guys, encrypted format, so it is not readable for us until unless we process this and read it as a Parquet file. Guys, am I audible? Hello?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Aditya, you are audible.
Yes. I can't hear anyone.
Aditya.
Hello? Am I audible, guys?
Aditya, what happened? Yeah, I lost you guys, like the meeting. I had to restart my system. Where did we leave?
Okay, I think we have almost covered what I have planned for today. I'll just go through once.
Mm-hmm. I mean, after that,
Okay,
over.
what part you have left is file format.
Yeah, like after the override, the whole
Okay.
thing actually, there's some glitch in my system or the app maybe.
Okay,
इंक्रीमेंटल के बाद
this,
वाला जो हम पढ़ रहे थे ना, उसके बाद वाला
हाँ,
पूरा.
I got it.
अभी भी I
So,
can only see, I cannot see the screen. Like, are you
screen
sharing?
share. Wait, let me share.
Okay.
Is it visible now?
Yeah.
Okay.
The file format
So,
I've missed, the CDC I've missed, full override के
change
बाद से.
this change data capture
Yeah.
means also consider your like there is a record of a customer like bank customer which whose
Mm-hmm.
bank total current balance is around 100 yesterday, and then today they have done some transactions, and now we have to update the recent records as well. So these records are mostly in real time data processing, like bank transactions or premium balance. Those are the informations we will see it, because this I have to show you with data,
The
real data actually. So then it might be easier. So this part won't is not that much necessary for now, but you understand this part, this too, what kind of data you have processed. If in interview they will ask what kind of data, what types of data processing we do. So there are two
Mhm.
types of data processing we do. We do a batch processing or real-time data processing. Batch processing means incremental data records which we have, which I have told you, right? We are updating the data every day on an incremental basis. We are just updating the information every day on incremental basis. Like for example, customers account information, customer balance informations, because those informations we need to update every day for analytics use cases, and as well as to update the bank transaction history we do this part as well. Change data capture means if any change has happened to customer's account, especially in terms
Hmm.
of balance and amount, it should update immediately in banking systems. Right? You remember, you know, we do any GPay or any Google Pay
Hmm.
transactions through phone, and then suddenly
Hmm.
our immediately our balance updated.
Hmm.
That is
Hmm.
nothing
Hmm.
but a change data captured or in a real time data processing we do.
Okay. And what is full override? I lost you in this.
Okay. Full overwrite is nothing but in this use case, account information is updated. Full information we have updated, right? For example, if I want to see the present balance of a customer XYZ, which is now at present. At
Hmm.
present means today. So what I have done, the information which I have till yesterday, I have updated those with totally new records. Because for example, I have extracted data yesterday afternoon for customer A. This is
Hmm.
example. On 31st afternoon, we have extracted this information where the balance was this. But now
Hmm.
today again afternoon, we have run the same pipeline and the record has got updated to this. And here, transaction logs is also there, which like some XYZ number transaction log. So the latest transaction to identify the records with latest transaction, we will overwrite for this value so that we should have a complete latest information of that. At present, this is the balance and last transaction ID is this. So by using this last transaction ID, we can extract the further information about this transaction ID, like where it has spent, to which merchant they have done these transactions, and how much transaction amount was there in that transaction. We will use this column, this record, this value to connect with the customer transaction table to understand what transaction it was. So this means in our databases, we will use this unique identifier keys to extract further information from other tables. Because
Hmm.
there are not only all information is not stored in one place. There are transaction table, balance table, current balance, saving balance, such different tables and different informations in banking they stored. So to identify transaction here of this last transaction, we will use example is transaction key. And there is a transaction table which holds all the information. So by this is the mutual key between those two tables. This is a like balance table, and there is one other table which is a transaction table. It's and info. It's better. Hmm. This is one table. Next is we will create a transaction table, what it holds. Transaction ID and the date, receiver, amount. So this transaction ID will help to connect these two tables, and the account ID, as we know already, receiver is LG amount is almost 250. The customer, okay. So you see here how this is the present balance. Account information table holds the value of that account, customer name, his current balance, date of that particular date timestamp, and transaction ID, the last transaction ID. Okay. Now, if I want to understand what is this transaction of, then I will go to transaction table. I will do a select all transaction happened with this transaction ID. Which account? Now this transaction ID will show this account ID has done a transition on this date to LG Enterprises with an amount of 250. You got it, guys? Understood? Like what we
Yes.
have done here? Yeah. So this way we will do. So for something like this is nothing but kind of analytics we will have to do in organizations. They we need to connect or join two different tables to extract certain information based on certain keys like that. Okay. Yeah. So this part is okay, guys. What are the types of data you have? We have processed. We can process in data engineering. We can process batch data. Batch means chunks of data we are updating every day, or it is a real-time data. This is nothing but the historic data. Whatever data is a made delay, late delay means yesterday's data is a historic data, and real-time data means live data, like especially consider
Aditya,
transitions. Yeah.
Aditya, I have a question. Suppose these social media apps, right? LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, है ना? तो
हाँ.
मान लीजिए अगर मैंने एक मेरा डेटा है, मेरा एफबी अकाउंट है और मैंने वही एफबी अकाउंट 2 महीने बाद लॉग इन करा,
हम्म,
है ना? तो
हम्म.
फिर ये किस टाइप के डेटा में आता है? मतलब ये रियल टाइम डेटा तो है नहीं, मतलब मैं एक डेड
It is
यूजर
not a
टाइप
real
की हूँ।
time data. Okay, real time data means in this portion, only the real time information would be whatever the post you will do through your account. You see, you will update some photo or some comments, it will reflect immediately,
या
like
बट
within a
नहीं, मेरा क्या
wha-
क्वेश्चन है, जैसे कि
Mhm.
ऐसे सिनेरियोज होते हैं क्या कि मैंने अकाउंट यूज ही नहीं करा है, मान
Mhm.
लीजिए कि मेरा डेटा निकालना हो या कुछ इस टाइप से कि मतलब मैं एक डेड यूजर हूँ
हाँ,
और मैं कभी
currently
कभी
if you are dead user, right? So
हाँ
yeah, so whenever you are using that application Facebook, right? So within
हाँ
that time, the session is created. Whatever the actions we are doing on that scrolling, liking, comments, those are all captured as a logs. So means, for
ओके
example, you have used today for 15 minutes. So all these 15 minutes, whatever, how many clicks you have done in that 15 minutes, those information will get stored everywhere.
ओके,
Means in their
जो
Facebook
टाइम स्टैम्प
database.
और लॉग्स देते हैं, ठीक है
Correct,
ठीक
correct,
है।
correct. So you should understand any single click you are doing on your phone is getting stored somewhere else. So that's how people or the AI machines are like understanding your behaviors.
ओके ओके थैंक यू।
Yeah.
तो मैं किस टाइप की लेकिन यूजर कहलाऊंगी, मतलब इनएक्टिव यूजर हूँ मैं एक तरीके से, लाइक कभी कभी ही लॉग इन करती हूँ, कुछ ऐसा भी होता है क्या?
Passive users.
ठीक है, मतलब ऐसा सिनारियो आता है क्या कि जिन मतलब कोई यूजर स्पेसिफिक सिनारियो आ जाए तो फिर ऐसे कुछ
हाँ, तो
सिनारियोस भी
अभी
आते हैं क्या?
जैसे ये सिनेरियो है, फॉर एग्जांपल माय मैनेजर आस्क मी टू आइडेंटिफाई हाउ
हम्म
मेनी active users who are spending at least 120 minutes per day. So for that reports, I'll have to go and check the number of customers spending time more than 120 minutes or equal to 120 minutes. In that list, you won't be there in that list because you're not spending that much time. And
अच्छा।
I want to understand who are the passive users right now. Means passive means in organization they have defined whoever whatever the users who are spending less than 10 minutes. Those are all passive users. Give me the list of those users. So I'll have to go and see the logs, how many session time you have spent in a day. That we will store. That will get info. That informations will get stored, right? Whatever time that application is open in your screen, those will
हम्म
get captured.
ओके ओके
Yeah. So
थैंक
through
यू।
that, I should understand what kind of user you are. You're not active user because you're not spending too much time on that application.
ओके सो मतलब एक थ्रेशोल्ड होता है कि सपोजिटली, मतलब ये प्री डिफाइंड लिमिट्स होते होंगे ना टू फिल्टर द डेटा?
The company divide defines like because if there are no anything, any revenues are getting generated within 15 minutes, right? So they'll not consider those active users because they are not generating anything. For example, like people spending days like 2 hours, 3 hours, they are actual assets to the company because they are spending internet data to access that application in exchange
ओके
and sharing the data as well. So that's how they are giving us all the free applications so that they can extract all our data and then they can sell it to XYZ companies. That's
ओके
how data is
थैंक
getting sold.
यू। ओके
So
ओके
Facebook is
राइट।
company, they sell data, they do something that's how can they offer us a free service like Facebook?
हम्म ओके ओके
Return, they are
थैंक यू।
just extracting all our informations, personal information. That's why people suggest don't publish your personal life on social media.
Yes, they do sell.
Yeah, they do sell like there are many things like pharmaceutical industries, how diseases are getting created, how antidotes are getting created, or how many people are having immunity better, lower. There are many things like data is now nowhere privacy. Everything is now publicly available. It's just we have to wait for a particular time so that they can publish their data. Because whatever they are saying, like the data is insensitive data, they are encrypting your data which they cannot read. But to apply that algorithm and test that algorithm, there is someone who is also doing that by checking whether the informations, for
Mhm.
example, you have spent hi, hello, how are you? They'll do encrypt in some different words or different key hashes, something which they cannot
Hmm.
read. But to test that, they'll have to at least read your data once, right? Then
Yes,
only they
obviously
can
testing
validate.
cannot happen without that. Yeah,
Yes, so that's
obviously. Otherwise, the test cases will fail, right? So that's
correct.
simply fooling customers.
Just to validate that encryption mechanism, also they'll have to do a raw and real testing that the
आदित्य, मुझे
data
इसी
is.
से याद आया, so sorry,
Mhm.
continue फिर, well, I'll put up a question.
No, I was just saying like how the encryption are they saying sensitively, but they can access all our personal information anytime. It's just about the project what they are working on. Yeah, you say what you're saying.
Actually, I got a call from one of the HR, so that HR was arguing with me कि तुमने बहुत ज्यादा डेटा हैंडल नहीं करा है तो फिर हाउ विल यू क्वालिफाई। मैंने बोला अरे मौका तो दो, आई विल डू। ऐसे केस में क्या बोलूं, जैसे अब वो पेगाबाइट्स टेराबाइट्स डेटा, जैसे मैंने
हाँ,
कुछ कुछ डेटा सेट्स पे काम किया है, वहां पर रिक्वायरमेंट ही ऐसी थी, वो प्रोजेक्ट ही ऐसा था कि सिर्फ 150 रोज थे, मतलब हम कुछ कर नहीं सकते थे एंड वी हैड टू डू एनालिटिक्स फ्रॉम इट। तो अब ऐसे केस
no,
में हाउ टू जस्टिफाई एंड हाउ टू
हाँ, okay.
कन्विंस द एचआर?
Look, whether I'll tell you this size of data you have handled means is nothing. They just want to analyze. Actually, you have done the data processing because few records means you can write it in Excel, 100 or 1,000 records. But consider this CSV file is holding 1 million or 1 trillion records. So the data size would be like at least a GB or GB of file should be. So one file is around 1 GB file. In a day, if you are pushing means you are processing 100 files every single day. Ingestion jobs are there. Means you have done in petabytes of data, right? Terabyte of data, like because we are not dealing with a single file. They will ask how many records, like million trillions records we have processed. We have do a migration. In migration, we have ingested data incrementally every day because we have petabytes of data which we cannot process in a time. So we are just refreshing data year by year. Means my company is asking to migrate data for last 10 years into cloud. So I cannot migrate all of sudden 10 years data. So I'll have to write an incremental batch processing pipelines, which will help me to extract the historic data for like year by year based on the data size. For example, a 1 month data itself is around 10 petabytes. So you cannot process it immediately. So you'll have to split that data into chunk by chunks. Then you can store it, migrate from A to B, from on premises to cloud, like that. It depends on data size, like what kind of data you are dealing with. They will ask, okay, what kind of data means file formats, you see. So, for example, if the CSV file for we are processing of 10 GB. But when we store this file as a Parquet file, the file size would be 1 GB only. Means Parquet is the most columnar compressed file format. So that's why they recommend to process file in a Parquet format because it is lighter weight and in columnar format. Instead carrying this high volume of size, we can use this Parquet format. They will ask how you can save the cost of data processing, guys. So you can ask them like what kind of data you are processing, what kind of file formats you are processing. If they say, let's we have a CS, we have to extract files, we have to extract data from one system, which is a MySQL system, and how you will store the most optimization storage, optimistic way. So then you can say like what I will do, I will just write an ETL pipeline and store the raw file, raw data as a Parquet format. Instead CSV or text, I'll prefer to store it as a Parquet format because it is the most lighter weight and most compressed file format.
ये इंटरव्यू में बोलना है?
In interview we can answer like that. Because they may ask like
Okay.
what kind of file formats you have worked with. You can simply say CSV, JSON. JSON is what is the most complex file format you have worked on. So you can say JSON is a complex file format I have worked. One, then they will ask JSON how you have processed the JSON and structured it. Then you can say I have done the flattening of data flattening. We will see it in our upcoming sessions. But for example, you
Okay.
can say because it is the most uh, nested data, we need to flatten first. because this question is also an important. They may ask how you will process the JSON file. We will just extract the JSON file. We will flatten it first, and then we will store it as a table so that it can be readable in columnar format like this. This is a columnar format, guys. Column and
Okay.
below it there are values in it.
क्योंकि
This is
जेसन रॉ फाइल तो बहुत टैग्स होते हैं उसमें, राइट?
correct,
जैसे
correct,
नेम
correct.
एड्रेस
It is very
और
nested.
मैंने किया है काम, एंड देन उसमें हम अपडेट करके देन वो जो वो पोस्ट मेथड वो सब नहीं करके करते हैं, हम सेलेक्ट करते हैं वो क्या
हाँ,
इंटरफेस
pin
मुझे याद नहीं
post.
है। हाँ मतलब
हाँ,
बेसिकली
that is
एपीआई
also
कॉल हम चेक कर रहे थे, एक बार मैं
correct,
कुछ
correct.
टेस्टिंग थी तो
हाँ,
वो
so
बहुत ही
in
ज्यादा
that
बहुत
case,
नहीं आता समझ में।
हाँ, वो complex structured data है वो.
हम्म
That's why
हम्म।
for that purpose we'll have to flatten that data first, and then we can read it as a data frame. मतलब
ओके
it is like a nested. Then we'll have to
Yeah, it's not
flatten and
readable for a
unflatten.
normal user. Okay,
Normal use,
okay.
correct, correct. So yeah, and these are also this XML one. Majorly we work with this columnar, JSON, and Parquet. Text format is other use cases, text, Avro files. You don't have to worry about all these file formats. You just need to add. You just have to understand what are these. What is the difference between these file formats? Which one to prefer for a more like in cost optimization? We use this storage cost optimization. We use Parquet file format, and it is most faster to process than CSV file. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. So here, guys, any question, any doubt?
Not at my end.
Later, I will share this image. Yeah, so what we have learned today, guys, what is a data lake? Data lake is nothing but a centralized repository that holds a massive amount of raw data in our native file format, native file formats. And to process those files, Apache Spark is a engine, powerful like computation engine. Compute. Data processing frameworks. Okay, then what are the different stages in ETL workflow? First is our ingestion layer, this one, data ingestion layer, data cleaning layer, and data aggregation and reporting stage. And how we store data? We store data in three different layers: bronze layer, silver layer, and golden layer. What is the difference between bronze and bronze, silver, and gold? Bronze is nothing but a guys raw data. Means data is as it is from source, and silver layer is nothing but a clean and structure and integrated data where we apply some data quality checks on it, like handling the missing value and standardizing the data format. Data format standardization means, guys, for example, in some records, the date format is in a table. In a raw data, we have extracted the data format. For example, here, let's see here. For example, here the data looks like this way. Date column is this. And for other records, the date format is looking like this. So look, there are three different formats, guys. Here you see the date is not in one single format. So we have to standardize it and make sure the data, all the dates looks like YYYMMDD. So this is nothing but we'll do on raw data. We will apply some quality checks and transformations to make sure the date format should looks like this for all the records, like this. Now consider this is a raw table, and after applying the standardized quality checks, so now it looks like, is it constant now? This is nothing but a silver layer data. Okay. And then the next is this one. Where it is? This one. This is nothing but a golden layer where we have stored the data in a format and aggregated way, aggregated table, which actually represents the exact value which business wants to see. Final values, final data. Like they just wanted to understand revenues generated annually, monthly, this way. And types of data processing, batch processing, and real-time data processing. And file formats are CSV, JSON, and Parquet, Avro, XML, HTML, text, and so on. This is one of the example I can show you here. Yes, sir. For example, raw data. We are storing a raw data in a S3, Amazon S3. You see here, we are receiving data every minute. Okay. So it is close to real-time data updation. Raw JSON strings from sources say it is a bronze delta table. Delta lake means whatever the delta lake table storing inside delta lake are delta tables, guys. Okay. It's nothing but delta lake is nothing but a pool of data. A warehouse, a space where you can store enormous high value, high volume data irrespective of file size. So this is consider a transaction ID, product, unit price, transaction time, and city. This data is for data of a product selling like its unit price, transaction, and in which city it has sold. Then silver, it comes with a silver layer. What they want here is this is the raw data looks like for a product, unit price, transaction ID, a clean data read it. We read from the bronze table. Transformation, what transformation we need? Extract fields from the JSON strings. Okay. What difference do I got? Should. uh Okay. So here what they have done, this timestamp they have done. You remember I have told you the formatting we have done here in this date. So similar, they have applied some formatting in this. This is nothing but a silver layer, and then golden layer is an aggregation and reporting layer. A final job reads the silver table and aggregates the data into business metrics. What is business metrics are? How many sales, how many transactions done for this product or today. Since today we have done a transaction in New York City of sales of amount. This one transaction has been happened in New York City, and one transaction has been happened in LA with the amount of $45. So this is how the business wants to see the records. And then the analytics team will apply a visualization either on Tableau or Power BI to show it in a chart or bar chart something. So is it clear, guys? Any doubt, any questions?
Yeah, sir.
So yeah, that's all for today. I will send you all these notes. Guys, please keep these notes with you. You'll have to go through these notes before interview, like while when you are preparing for interview now. These notes would be very helpful, and I'll suggest whenever the class is going on, you should have a pen and a book handy with you so that whatever you are understanding, you should write it in your language, own language, so that it is easier for you to understand in future. Like you'll just read it in your way and read it, and then you'll have a refresher in it. You'll you'll memorize all those things which you have learned. Okay, guys. So I'll send you all these notes and we will continue with Spark from next week then. We will have a demo then. Okay. Any question, any doubt? Bindu, Jatin?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Cool then. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week then.